Catch past episodes of Create, Build, and Manage Daily on demand. Go to bizvod.com for details.
As we've discussed on this show several times, there is a housing shortage in the U.S. right now, and my next guest has some small solutions to the big problem. Robb is the president of Turnkey Fabrication, and he joins me in studio tonight. Eric, thanks for your time.
Thank you for yours.
Absolutely. Like everything these days, the cost of home ownership is just skyrocketing. Talk about what you're doing to help solve that problem.
I started building a few tiny homes, but really we got into building these wall panel systems, and they're just amazing for modular building. I think we all went to high school in the modular behind the high school, but we can do virtually anything with them. Housing is kind of an urgent need right now.
Sure.
But we've also done walk-in coolers and all manner of things.
Oh, yeah, turnkey or whatever kind of fabrication you need.
Sure.
I'm kind of curious, though, on some of these homes or buildings, what's the biggest misconception out there that you hear about it?
Tiny living's hard. I don't think a lot of people would choose it. Standard tiny home's only 8.5 feet wide. I think the modular built homes is a lot better. I think like 400 square feet and up is much more of a livable space. And as far as misconception, I don't know. I guess probably quality. They're very kind of ornate little craftsman one-off units.
Sure.
It certainly doesn't need to be that way. Yeah, and I think we're driving just toward more standardization and much higher quality.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You brought, by the way, just a little show and tell. What are we looking at here? And I think we actually have it on the screen as well, but we have it in person. So what is this?
This is one of our lightest weight wall panels we make. It's only 1.5 pounds per square foot.
Wow.
This is nominal R value of R25. And like I said, when we build our modular buildings out of these, they could be stacked 10 high like a shipping container.
Okay.
They're like just a vault. These things are hurricane proof. Like you should see them shooting 2x4s out of air cannons at them.
Wow.
So it's really cool. And as you can imagine, very efficient, very airtight, a lot of insulation. It's the only process really where your insulation is also part of the structure.
Gotcha.
So what you're able to do is just with a very few components, do everything a wall would need to do on your house.
That's great. And it looks somewhat like it's blocking sound as well.
Very quiet.
Yeah.
Very quiet. Yeah.
We should redo our studio and put this around the studio. So.
They are solid, fire resistant, waterproof, you name it.
And see, that's when I talk about misconception, because I think a lot of people don't realize the technology has come a long way than just even 15 years ago, what's available as far as materials.
Yes, that is true. And this is one of our panels here, but people are using magnesium oxide, cement board, sheetrock, I mean, you name it. Metal panels is what we do with the refrigeration. So we can pretty much laminate anything and come up with a similar outcome.
Your website is tk-fab.com.
Correct.
tk-fab.com. That's where people can go and check it out. And we got that website on the screen right now. I'm curious, with the rise of so many people that are working at home now, have you seen an increase of people wanting to build structures in their backyard as kind of a home office?
Yeah, what's really going on there, I mean, that would have been great if we were in operation pre-pandemic. We're just started up this year. But we're getting a lot of push on what they call ADUs, it's Accessory Dwelling Units, where you can build an additional structure in your backyard. It's typically a one-bedroom setup, kind of self-contained. A lot of people are calling them granny flats, like mom can't be on her own anymore. Here's an option for us. Density. They've changed the laws in California now where the cities cannot prevent them.
Interesting.
Here in Texas, we don't have anything, but now Austin is allowing them. San Antonio's following suit, and I assume we'll see more places as well.
Because I'm thinking, man, I would love to have that home office in the back, or have a building next to my pool. I mean, it's endless the ways that you
Perfect pool house. I have a few friends. Yeah, we did basically a cigar smoking lounge.
There you go.
Because even the single guys don't want to do that in their primary house.
I could appreciate that.
Yeah.
So for those who are on the fence, who are watching, who've thought about this, who aren't sure, what would you tell them is the benefit to owning a turnkey fabrication?
Super high efficiency, and there's a lot. They've been out there for a while, but there's a whole lot more rolling out. A lot of energy credits. I mean, think about it. Just you're buying this thing that's basically stronger, better insulated than your primary dwelling, and there's a lot of energy credits that you can tackle in the process. I think that's a great thing. They're so efficient. We can go off grid easily.
Off-grid meaning you got solar power and it's basically self-efficient?
Yes, it would require so little air conditioning that you would need a tremendous amount of power to do that. And I think the biggest thing is when you can install it in one thing. I've told people this many times in construction. When I've been in your house for 6 weeks, I'm not going to be your favorite person.
Right.
When you can just come in and drop it in and go home, everybody's happy.
So there's some use where people are doing this inside the home too, is what I'm hearing.
No, not specifically inside the house, but if you wanted some prefabricated walls to, let's say, where we could assemble a room like this,
like the barn
dominium, or create an office in your warehouse,
Gotcha.
We could walk them in the front door and they'd all be wired, painted, electrified, everything, assemble it and go home the same day.
That's great. So why this passion? What got you into this space? You mentioned you kind of got started this year, but this is not a new industry for you. So what got you down this path?
I guess it's just, I was obsessed with Legos when I was a kid.
Okay, that's fair.
Still playing with them. So.
So this is the adult version of Legos.
It can be. It certainly can be. And I mean, just think about it. Why can't you build a house like you did with Legos? Just reconfigure it. You're just a lot of standardized parts. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get that efficiency and again, have the much higher quality than your average house is. Right. You know, that's the other thing with these small homes and whatnot. They do not need to be of inferior quality. In fact, when you're going smaller, you can afford to go much higher end.
Makes sense. So where do you see as you look toward the future in the next 5 years or so? Do you see an increase of people even abandoning their large homes? Not what we like to call right sizing versus downsizing, but do you see people making that move?
Absolutely. It's not for everybody, obviously, but like for me, it is. You know, I lived in a 3-bedroom house and 2 of those bedrooms were rarely entered, right. Things like that. So there's just a lot of options. And again, it's real easy to find a big, fancy, nice house. Try to find a small, fancy, nice house. Right. There's a lot of pent-up demand for that. We see a lot of people retiring. Just don't need the space. I wouldn't want to raise 8 kids in a tiny home, but you know that's not for everybody either.
Get 8 tiny homes. I'm joking, of course. Robb, thank you so much for coming in. He's the president of Turnkey Fabrication. And again, the website is tk-fab.com. Stick around. You're watching Create, Build, and Manage Daily.